symbolism plays in terms of human behavior. Yet, traditionally, academia, and especially academia, that stuff doesn't filter down to the main population. But academia has worked under the assumption that symbolism is a natural behavior pattern. And the reason why they say that is because symbolism indeed created all religions. Mathematicians, scientists say that you can't solve scientific problems without the use of the symbolic thinking processes. When I was at the radiocarbon laboratory with Checole and Dr. Diop, as he was doing scientific experiments, radiocarbon dating, all discoveries that are made in history are made symptomatically. All discoveries that are made in history are made symptomatically. We cannot know anything for sure unless it's symbolically. What do I mean? Fossil finds. Symptoms are natural signs. When you analyze fossils, you are analyzing you're using a symptomatic process. This is important.
Yes. And then the last question is on religion. He agrees with you. The Reverend says religion is no, that's a provocative one. He agrees with superstition. You have a disciple here.
Yeah, I'm amazed. But I think
He's amazed.
That's absolutely true. We have to, and this is, I think, we talk about which is more sensitive and which is more difficult to deal with, race or religion. And religion, I think we all, Francois Dupuis wrote a book, he's a Frenchman, he wrote a book called The Origins of All Cults, where he talks about religion, 13 volumes. You can read it in French at Columbia University Library, 13 volumes. When he wrote The Origins of All Cults, where he talks about all religion has its origins in the Egyptian symbol systems. His wife wanted to burn the manuscript because he wanted to burn the manuscript. His wife took the manuscript and hid it from him because he didn't want to face the repercussions of what he said about religion. Religion is a myth. And that is why it's not by accident that you have the people on the far right. The most religious people tend to be the most racist people.
Yes.
And you have to understand those kinds of dynamics. And it's difficult for a lot of people who are entrenched in the old theological syndrome of faith. I sympathize with you. But what I'm saying to you, you have to get over it.
Okay, on that note, let me bring this session to a tentative conclusion, as we say in Parliament, sine die, meaning until next time. In other words, this particular evening has raised as many questions as there have been answers. And that is to be understood, because if we're talking about civilization, we're really talking about 30,000 years of recorded history and human behavior. I know everyone has taken a pound at my old school here, but we will adapt at Harvard. Don't worry about it. Nobody is resistant to new ideas. Good ideas come, people will absorb them and so on. But I think that the most important thing that we're going to take away from the lesson is we have to begin to analyze the interplay of symbolic thoughts as opposed to symptomatic thought process, and how this can actually lead to a new civilization. Clearly, it's very difficult for people to think symptomatically, as it were. It's not been done as such systematically. You're saying that this is where we want to go. We're going to build a new civilization. So in other words, you're creating something new. You're simply saying, let's move forward from here on. Because it's not been true in the past.
Right.
But then the past has not been nice either. Yeah. So part of it is that for those of us, and we made Africa a case study. Obviously, a lot of the examples are from Asia as well as from here. There's no question that as members of the audience have had, we in Africa clearly have the greatest need at this point in time. as I've argued in my own book, Instrumental Pan-Africanism, there's no question that it has to take this sort of symptomatic thinking, but no less important, what it seems most people agree with here, a very serious and concerted effort by Africans in the diaspora. And I tend to think in second African terms, meaning anybody who considers Africa, of African descent, in the Caribbean, from the American network, as it were, from Africa itself, who's interested in the next phase, what we often call the fifth phase of Pan-Africanism, of the oldest continent. What we've had here tonight is really helpful because we have to start from the biosocial context of human beings. Human beings are just not purely social animals, also biological animals. And I think that the discussion of the neurological misadventure is something that we need to take very seriously. And the best way to do this, quite simply, I know that Mr. Ridley's thinking is even more complex than this. The best way, quite simply, is to actually get the book and read it. How many of you have read The Golden Apple? Okay, just a handful or so. It's really worth reading. Let me conclude by asking you to give yourself a round of applause again today. Okay. And then there is a gift for you. We're going to get a vote of thanks from Linda Ridley, Edgar's wife and partner, who are going to do this event together. So let's actually give her a round of applause again. The panel, I want to thank you. All these thoughts and kernels you throw out there, believe me, they really are very helpful. The example from Wall Street, the example of what the African Union is doing, the example of what countries like Nigeria have tried to do, the insight from African economic thinking, going back over some, because Africa is not lying down. There are things going on. And that's what Mr. Otobo tried to let us know. There's a lot of entropy from a situation where the colonial powers left us with just no more than maybe 3 universities. Today we have 3,000 universities, with students and millions of students debating this. And that's very important. We have the manpower now. The question is the rising of ideas. And that's what this comes to. And also the example given by Mr. Ngemi of exactly what we're doing to ourselves. There is no question that we in Africa have to really debate ourselves. But when we think of Africa, we must always include the diaspora. So you're thinking, I can assure you, sir, through my magazine and other things, we'll get to Africa. As we go to press next week, there will be people reading you in one of the 25 stock exchanges that we have in Africa today on economic policy. Remember again that we never had those things before. So Africa is not exactly prone to disaster completely. We have made some improvements. The question is, where is the grand idea that can lead us forward? And it's on that particular note that the event we put together is on more than passing interest. So we want to thank you very much. And may I now give over to Ms. Linda Ridley to say what they have to say. Thank you very much.
I just want to thank everyone for joining us this evening for what we hope to be many opportunities to have a salon where we can raise the level of discourse with African voices. You've all been a very patient audience. You've had an opportunity to witness the genius of Edgar Ridley, and he's provided us with a clear pathway to productivity and success with the symptomatic thought process. Additionally, I want to thank our distinguished panel. We've got a gift for everyone. I also wanted to thank our team that helped us. I think they might be upstairs. Shania Kassahun, Fatou Ba, and Renye Alexander. And I also like to highlight Black-owned businesses whenever we can. The gift bags that all of you will receive when you leave were created actually by Watson Enterprises. Is Bert and Judy still here? Thank you so much. And our photographers from GM Photography and Vince in Nwachukwu. Thank you. I'll turn it over to you to close everything up.
All right, very good. Okay, let me also mention that among those who have been very important in the African Profiles Ridley partnership going forward, and we have an event coming up, Black History Month. We're planning an even bigger gathering, and we need everybody's support. I hope they signed in so that with some the people sign in. Okay, very important. If you just came in for the first time, we're really trying to create an ongoing dialogue. Make sure you see Linda to give her your email and contact list now. Ladies and gentlemen, we're done with this. Thank you.
How about an applause for Dr.